Unexpected blows up under the sun. But when on shakes, we are always plugged in, watching it all unfold right here in the Situation Room. Here, we bring to men's 98.
The president must know that.
A very good evening to you. Welcome to the Monday edition of the Situation Room live on Mainland 98.3 FM. What a way to start the week. How did your weekend go? I'm sure you had all of the fun you could get because I've always said it. No matter what you do, no matter how you get to do it, you always make sure that go through the stress of Monday through Friday. Make sure you have enough time to rest by Saturday and Sunday. I know a lot of people still work on weekends as well, but hey, one thing, I don't know your position about reincarnation. I don't know about life after death. I don't know about life on the other side. But the only thing I know is that you are only alive as long as safety, and that's the only way you can enjoy the best of everything. Things always, before now, it's always like, oh, during the week, really super changing right now. Saturdays, things are happening. So, in case you're joining us for the first time, I welcome you. This program comes up on the airwaves every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. live on Mainland 98.3 FM. Would always go about politics, like my democracy is not good roads. Yes. Dividends of democracy is not good hospitals. Dividends of democracy is not good public infrastructures, because even under the military, we had good roads. We had boils down to your right of the law. You've done the right things, reached out to the right authorities to inform them that you want to have a protest. Under democracy, the government don't have the right to clamp down on protesters. And you go to protest, as some of our colleagues when we're going to cover the protest earlier this month. And I said in my little time here, I've actually been proud to the 1999, but of course, at the Occupy Nigeria protest, I was there, right there. And you've seen it as well. The NSAS protest, the End Bad Governance protest, the LASU. And it's quite unfortunate that in a democracy that is supposed to set the pace for other democracies on the continent of Africa, protests in the history of this country. I'm talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whether as a pro-democrats under the military, even under this dispensation, the Occupy Nigeria protest. So it hurts so bright. You see policemen, you see. So when I was talking to my editor at Alausa earlier today in front of how come we have all of these policemen and killings everywhere? How come we have all of these people order from above? Different fuel stations where they buy petrol. They also live under the very difficult and severe conditions that a lot of Nigerians are living on right now, which is quite on media is gagged. The operations of free speech is being under constant threat in a democracy that we've nurtured over the last 26 years of this our fourth republic. It hard to make sure that I don't get hurt in the protest, in the proof the state of emergency did constitution. That means that the constitution or whatever law that is being made, and maybe we can listen to the plight of the people and also try to hear them out. Unfortunate that when you see protests going on in the country and you see how heavily militarized these protests are, you ask yourself, the things that we count as dividends of democracy, are they truly the dividends? Are you guaranteed that freedom after that speech has been made, which is that is being regarded as one of the greatest pro-democrats that we've had in this country? Then we should not be having this level of militarization when the people want to protest. It was people asking the right questions from the government, not to tear gas them. It's almost like pouring the water the baby away with the bath water. So if someone writes to you that they want to protest, and then you say you have security report, are you supposed to stop the protest, or constantly protesting in the UK. Go to the US, the seat of power in Washington DC. Every single day, people are protesting. President Donald Trump had not spent 4 months in office. Every single day, he's been for. The people are scared to come out to ask the questions. The people are scared to come out to protest. The people are scared to come out to ask for join the march from Ikeja under bridge down to the Lagos State Government House at Alausa. And then by the time we got to the front of House of Assembly, but they were not allowed to get into the House of Assembly. And then, the conversation was very cordial. The press was addressed and everybody. If we're celebrating 26 years of uninterrupted democracy, what exactly are we celebrating? So that we know that the April 7, 2025 protest that was organized nationwide, a couple of people here and there, and then the people still don't feel safe. Providing good governance to the people, it's unfortunate of protest in the country. Let the people breathe. Let them ask you to hide in your offices and then send policemen to put their lives on the line for democracy. That these people the people would always come out to protest. The people would always come out to say things that are not comfortable with. These are rights that are enshrined in the Nigerian 1999 Constitution as amended. Live from Milan 98.3 FM. My name is Tᴏɪᴛᴛᴇʀ Mᴜɪᴜ meeting 2 times, and we're going to look at new leadership of the NNPC Limited as well. Well, Mr. Bayo Bashir Ojulari takes over from the man that has survived, I think about maybe 3 terms. That's about the downstream sector of Right Honorable Muda. The 13th of January, Obasa was removed. It was also reinstated. I know what I mean. I have an audio here to play for it. Now talking about served in the Lagos House of Assembly for 8 years and of course represent.
The president must know that this is a bad time for our nation. We must rise to it. They are killing people in the east, in the west, in the south, in the north. We should shut down the National Assembly. Let's shut down. If we cannot save this country, we stay in our homes.
A new day, a new event. Old actors meet new ones, and a fresh twist adds up to the old subplot. Something unexpected blows up under the sun. But when the elephants fight, and the grass suffers and the ground shakes, we are always plugged in, watching it all unfold right here in the Situation Room. Here, we bring together the main actors to take their turns on pressing issues. Every month, we are always watching.
That's why I can say there, the eyes have it.
I want to take the opportunity personally and also on behalf of the management of NNPC and the industry to thank you for the immense contribution you have made. There's a lot of clarity, a lot of, improved relationships, and also some of the external things that you have done. I will be counting on your continued support. I will need a lot of it, particularly all the areas where you've succeeded, but also the areas where you've had challenges. My purpose is to consolidate the successes that NNPC has achieved and take it to the next level, as Alhaji Mele Kolokiari have said. You've been on a journey. How do we move that journey forward? How do we speed up where we can? And how do we leverage some of the significant network that you've already built towards moving at that pace? The challenges ahead are quite significant. The demands, when I saw the announcement, the target that have been set are quite challenging, but that is, the leader have set the target. And I don't question leaders when they set target.
Thank you very much and welcome back. Now let's start the introduction of the show today. Like I said, my guests are served in the Lagos State in the 2023 election. Yes, we went to cover his constituency, and then we saw the crowd, and I remember I told Mike, I was like, whose house is that? And the person was like, let's move around. So when we got there's a polling unit like a few houses down after. I'm like, who's at 8 years? So let's get straight up into it. Honorable WG good to have you join us in the Situation Room today, the 7th day of April 2024.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity in your studio. Good afternoon, all.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me drop this real quick. On the turn of 5 o'clock, Comrade Iᴏᴜᴜᴜ would join me on the phone from Abuja because he just texted now that they're still at the FCT police command to bail some of the protesters that were arrested earlier today. So I would have to run this interview with my guest, and then he'll probably join us on the turn of 5 o'clock. So I just have to put that there. I have an idea of what went down in Lagos today. It was a protest from the Ikeja under bridge all the way down to the Lagos House of Assembly complex at Alausa. Of course, the press address, family members came out to address them. So maybe we should even start from them. Honorable Jude, look at our track record of protest in this country, especially with the heavy militarization of protest in Nigeria. What does that say to you about the growth in our democracy?
Well, at times you may not hear from the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You see, the challenge, let me tell you, if you have sometimes worked with or close with the police in particular, you will discover that the police, you ask police to do A, they will go and do B. You ask these are not even from the presidency per se or from the high command, but sometimes the truth is, from if you have observed, police sometimes go outside their boundary. They will leave what they ask them to do and be doing other things. Especially that's why at times maybe at times they don't even read, not all, but most of them, especially those ones that they all sent to the field, especially the junior ones that are always out, maybe their level of education or whatever that is challenging that make them, when they get there, they become a kind of protection of safety of human beings and property, which is the core which the command will tell you, okay, like the presidency or the governor or whoever the executive will say, make sure that there is no way out this preventing breakdown of law and order. It's the police, and probably you may not bring naturally in the civil society it should be the police, and that is just their core job. So, but like I said, most of the time they abuse it. I don't know why they are always like that. I've experienced it many times. They abuse so sometimes when we always, but the truth is that they say whatever happens is a fall on the back of the executive, either the president or the governor, as the case may be. Yes, somebody like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our president, he actually he protested, yes, because probably when you consider his age then, his age and his action then, though it's not easy to protest. That's just the truth. And you know that our democracy, for me, is still in progress. But by now, we're supposed to be doing better than what we're experiencing.
This one, and that is we're going to touch a little on the recent issues in the Lagos House of Assembly. We'll talk about that later, but let's quickly talk about the new leadership change at the NNPC Limited. Well, last week the president announced that after recently renewing their term, and then like they said there's a new sheriff in town, and that's Mr. Bayo Bashir Ojulari. I mean, if you go through his profile, a well-seasoned practitioner, he's been in that space for so many years, experienced, well-profiled, well-traveled, with track record of delivery. But I want to take this from you at this point. The timing of this switch, sacked as the word that is being used.
Well, naturally, if his tenure is due, of course you step aside. Apart from that, I think he has done his best. He has done his best. He has been there for over 10 years or thereabouts. So he has done his best. So, and naturally, you know, in every aspect of life, every organization, everything in this life people do and succeed, it has to do with management activities of that organization. So, of course, Military and his team, they have tried. But, you know, he has also Nigerians have been complaining because they prove that oil happens to be our crude oil happens the real benefit of what I would say of a country that actually have gotten that kind of resource, because it's God's blessing, but we are not enjoying it, and it has to do with NNPC. It is good for me that the president decided, thank God his tenure was due, so he has to step aside. The president must have done his due diligence in terms of whoever the guy he just appointed, but he appointed there. He must have find out and make inquiry about his capacity, ability, and qualification and experience. So I believe for the president to have appointed him and his team and come and do work for him will not be for the best interest of the nation and the best interest of Nigeria. Kyari did not try. Even in terms of both locally, new team that have come into could support us. Most times, most people in the hem of ourselves are not patriotic people. They are not people who want to commit themselves, commit their life
to nation building.
Not being selfish in doing that and stuff like that. Because for me, that's what I believe. If you want to serve the nation, you must commit yourself. In fact, you put your life at stake. So look, I want to do my best for my hope. And if they are not patriotic, but we are wasting your time. But I believe they must put Nigeria first. They must put Nigeria for not even the president. They must put Nigeria, because if you satisfy Nigerians, definitely you satisfy the president.
You made the president's job easy.
Yes, makes the job easy. Exactly.
That's Mr. Ojulari was giving his acceptance speech. He made a very big statement. He said the outgone now GMD, Mr. Mele Kyari, did a lot, but of course there were challenges, and very typical of every organization of that magnitude. So much coming into it. The NNPC is obviously the most important organization for the growth and the sustainability of this country, whether we like to admit it or not. But what would you think should be the priority of the new leadership, of that organization right now? We have a man which is always really, really important in responsibilities like this. What would you expect to be the priority of the new leadership at NNPC Limited right now?
Him and his board would be number one, for the interest of the nation. Two, he has the qualification and he has the experience and the competence from what I have read about him. But first of all, naturally, at least he's not outside Nigeria. He knows what is happening. He knows what Mele Kyari and his group have been passing through. So by now he should know where those problems are. By now he should know he has identified the mistake that Mele Kyari and his group have done before, which he will not want to step into that side. So the best is, by now, I think he believes that he should know the problem because he has been in the system. But like the truth, for me, I always believe that, a tree cannot make a forest. Team must be, first of all, willing to serve selflessly, be patriotic. What can we do to help us? Reorganize NNPC. Let me tell you, NNPC at times, from the little we know, there are lots of things that are not going well. Talk about corruption. Yes, that's what is happening. So insider dealings and stuff like that with external people, with also private organizations, oil companies and stuff like that. So these are the issues. At the end of the day, you see that he will not perform. So he has to sit down, study the organization structure and in fact the staff that are there. If you believe that anybody that will be a close to your success, you remove them. Then if you also have computer, you are the one in charge. So you have men or women, you need those manpower. And if you have challenges about your equipment and stuff, the man that have appointed you, you always relate with him. He knows what to challenge. You know that for them to have put you there, or the president have appointed you there, there's no room for you for failure. And you don't make mockery of the appointment the president. Because there are thousands of one Nigeria who will be willing to do that job. But yes, but you have it identified and have been picked. So don't put the president to shame. I don't put Nigerians to shame. So I wish him well, but they also need the support of the staff of NNPC. They also need the support of Nigerians and prayers.
Okay. Thank you very much. Still on this NNPC issue, there's always been a problem of accountability, and this is not accountability, especially when there's this kind of transition. Would you assume, or would you expect that the books should be opened? I mean, there's a new leader, right? Some form of investigation, maybe not exactly alleging anything, but hey, let's see what has come in the last few years. Let's see what had gone out in the last few years. Let's go through your recruitment processes. How many people have you employed? Do you think these are also necessary for whatever shakeup the president is expecting to have within the NNPC?
Mandate the president must have given him, which I don't know, and you don't know. There might be a secret meeting between the president and the mandate, and of course, definitely, you know that they say anyway. That's by the way. So the issue is that, like I said, the president must have given some mandate, and he will discuss with the president. So for me, naturally, there is no way, if you really want to get it right, but you know in Nigeria, if you want to get it right, it's expected that you look at, okay, the records, like I said, he's the one that carried the responsibility now. The accounting system, the whatever, how the performance, performance of the about what. But my brother, you know Nigeria, you know that area. No, let's face the fact. You know that area. Like I said, it now depends on the instruction the president has given him. So but you know, there was a secret cow. You don't go there because maybe by the time you go there, there are a lot of things you might see. And you ask yourself, if I go there, so what? Because the truth is that even those people that are there, if there are some skeletons in their cupboard, of course they want to frustrate him. So, do all you can to sanitize that place. Of course, he will step on toes and heaven will not fall. You understand? But if maybe you are trying to step on toes and whoever that give you the appointment assignment say, take it easy, you know how
those
it is.
Those toes must not be stepped on.
People have come and said, okay, let us try to investigate the previous government or previous management. It does not work. Even by the time you even start at a point, your effort will just be a waste because they will just kill it. It will not come to light. So I think for me, he should just get some information, work with him probably, because he must have certain things undone that can also help him in terms of information and exchange of ideas.
We'll soon leave this conversation. They will come home. Home means a place where you called home for 8. There seems to be some level of change in the leadership in terms of response to concerns. And a lot of people had attributed it to the level of competition now within the downstream. Kaduna Refinery is also being brought up to speed. It should also come upstream anytime soon. Remember when it was I became a public liability company, a lot of Nigerians felt like, oh, now we own this enterprise, even though it's still not entirely the government anymore. But because I mean, whether you like it or not, in the last few months, especially since Dangote came upstream, it seems to be it's 9:15, it's 9:10. What do you think we need to do more in terms of that trust level being improved on? And that has to come from the other side, which is NNPC. How much more do you think the leadership needs to, do to improve the level of trust between them and Nigerians?
The recent leadership of the country, led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Since he came in, you can see, it's because if he did not give NNPC, even Dangote, all the support they required, I don't think they would have gotten where they are. So give it to Assᴇᴜ, I believe. Because since he came in, this improvement you are talking, stuff like a lot of problems. Even the man was almost frustrated. And also, I want to also thank Nigerians who gave Dangote the backing. See, today they are still giving him that backing because at the end of the day, it's the Nigerians that will benefit. And if otherwise, it's the because, like I said, if the Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our president, is not putting his foot on ground, that achievement, the progress they have made for the past almost going to 2 years now, they wouldn't have gotten it. But it's a going concern. We'll continue to make that. But policies that will help to galvanize competition in that sector, because no matter what you do, the competition is key. It's very, very key, because where there is no competition, I tell you, a lot of things will go bad, and that is why, and that is what, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu is somebody who is driven by private, because we are used to, getting things easy, especially enjoying the crude oil, but forgetting that crude oil and the petrol product we are enjoying, or we want to enjoy, are being priced at it. So sometimes even those private people that want to delegate the sector, like what has happened, if not, of course you will not have nobody MD of NNPC. It's somebody who also have worked a lot in private sector who have this idea. Yes, so he knows how to also, with him on board, I believe he will encourage more private. And at the end of the day, when more investment is being done in these sectors, I believe that it will trickle down to ordinary Nigeria on the street, because it will also make room for even more private refineries that want to come upstream. But me and you, the ordinary Nigerian, that will benefit from it. You can see here sometimes, because of the volatility always been the currency that they are using. Of course, there's the up of prices of petroleum products, including fuel or gas leaks now. I'm hopeful. I'm believing that better opportunities, better days are ahead for the country. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. In case Mogu, two-term member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, represented Oshodi Solo State Constituency 2 in the Lagos State House of Assembly. And then we're looking at two major issues today. First off, the new leadership change at the NNPC Limited. Now we have Mr. Bayo. And you ask yourself again, what are the responsibilities that Nigerians are expecting from the NNPC, and act on the mandates that have been given to the new GMD from the president himself. But all things being equal, we keep our fingers crossed, and I would also keep that conversation going in that regards. Part of the core of what we discussed today. But how do I have a two-term member in the House of Assembly that served on that respected conversation? But I think it's actually needed. On the 13th of January, the House of Assembly in Lagos State removed Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, and then they brought in the first female speaker. You would have it, or whatever it is that must have happened. That decision was reversed, and a month after, Obasa had been in the House since 2003 down to 2025. He's still in the House of Assembly now. He's probably running, I think, about his 10th year as the speaker. In the twist of that decision, what do you think may have gone down? Because I remember when Honorable Miranda was sworn in, came out to address the press thereafter, saying that, she's gotten the blessing of GAC, there is support of her, and then she had all the House of Assembly members behind her, has a lot to explain to the people. But after a month, as she was, told to step down, she was sworn in back as deputy speaker, the post she held before she became the speaker, and then Obasa was reinstated. Can you talk to us about that process, and how was the House of Assembly while you was there as the member?
You're taking me.
That's why I said it's an ambush. Yeah, we didn't discuss this one off. I just have to quickly slot this one in. Let's have a conversation.
Anyway, I'll state the fact. The thing is that Obasa today, I must tell you, in Lagos, when it's on politics in Lagos, like a son to Assᴇᴏ. Let me tell you, yes, if people don't know, I'm telling you now, that is very. When you talk about leadership in Lagos State, and insider information. So for him to have been removed by his colleagues, to the president is like a coup. And I don't think if the president was aware from initially before that thing was done, but they will not like a terror. I'm telling you, I'm not hiding it because I was there. I witnessed it. I was also, my finger was also burned, but I don't want to go personal about the issue. He was still alive, was in the House of Assembly. Two of them worked together, and there was a kind of peace, harmony, and relationship continued members, because even if they take it easy, remember all these people are still your colleagues, even though you are first among, I must tell you, maybe among the members, even when I was there, when yes, there's no other person. If they are talking, who are you to stand before him to talk? That's just the truth. So yes, that is just it. It was not easy, and power corrupt absolutely. So yeah, so that is what happens to him. That's what happens to him. And I just, yes, at the point, and of course, remember you don't as your constituency, even though you are the number 3 person, you understand, when you consider the governor, the deputy governor, and you being the speaker as the number 3 person in terms of ranking. So if they have made you the speaker, you understand, is based on the fact that they trusted you, even though I know the way speakership is done in Lagos. If you don't have a very strong good godfather, you cannot get it. Yes, but remember that even up to yes, then if Asiwaju did not give pass mark for you, how can you become a speaker of Lagos State Assembly? Because from the knowledge more with the legislators. Yes, that's one thing with him. He believes and works more with the legislators. He always believes that a very strong and capable legislator will be able to checkmate the excesses of the executive. So most times he works with it so that a lot of there can be good governance for the interest of the people. That is one thing I know about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Maybe because of the fact that he was one time a senator and maybe that bag of women. So in terms of so of course there was a time, of course, naturally when you continue doing things you are doing, one day they will react. That's what that happened on the 13th you are referring to. They reacted. Say no, enough is enough. We are not human beings. And besides, when what's supposed to happen silently, one day you burst out. You speak out. So that is the. It's not the first time. Even when we're there, there's not the first time Abacha will travel now. Everything is maintained. You understand? They wait for him. He will come back. So you must, before you use somebody as your deputy, definitely you want to also trust the person that is in. So that is just what, for me, I saw it that way. And I also believe that maybe whatever that happens, it will be a lesson to him that you see, you don't suppress people, you don't suppress your colleagues, for knowing that being the speaker is all of them. But because maybe you are lucky, the leadership of Lagos State, the man apart from Pepe that is late now, you have been the oldest member the oldest member that house. Of course, your experience. Remember, you are dealing with human beings. Then, so that is what I saw that happen. But the president intervened. Yes, because I know it took him by surprise. Remember that Lagos has always been the pride of governance in Nigeria and tradition, but you hardly see it outside because we always believe in leadership, non standard. The house above common standard. And it was a good example for every other house of assemblies in Nigeria. But well, anyway, nothing is permanent in life. I know that he won, but I also read the cost. Up to this moment I'm speaking to you, I'm not aware. For me, sometimes, when you talk about you want to be a good leader, you must not always have your way. You understand? Allow them to have their way. Allow them to have their way. So that's what Abacha should also do. You should allow them to, if they say, okay, if they insist that, look, so as long as it's not there, it's those members that are there that make the laws that also affect Lagos and also work with the executive. If majority of them are, if I were him, I would have told him, my guy, after all, he was not suspended. He was still a member of that house. You still have like 2 years. You see the challenge we have in Nigeria is that train a leader, train a speaker based on his experience. Step down, become member, be like a godfather within them, so that even if they have issues, you step in and it does not remove anything from you. The only thing where you lose that you are no longer
just the speaker.
You are no longer the speaker of the place. I appeal to the members to restate you as a speaker. I think if I were him, with this pressure that's going on, I would just resign, step aside. Okay, see, gentlemen and ladies, no problem. We're all colleagues. I'll be here with you. Who Lagos State?
There are zoning
or even not
considerations.
Lagos. Yeah, there is zoning. You have to zone. You have the senatorial position. Like I know that the governor is from Lagos Central, and the deputy governor from. You understand? So Miranda happens to come from the Lagos Central. Yeah. So, but you still have some competent hands from Lagos West that can also become speaker. And if I were Obasa, I recommend somebody from Lagos West that can also can trust you, can trust him as the speaker, and everything will balance. You now sit down with them instead of now. Okay, I'm even aware that as I speak to you, committee activities in Lagos, the executive now, because of course the executive cannot wait for them now. The job of the executive has to go, but that aspect of overseeing activities of the executive now they feel that because of you let the grass suffer. It's not good. I think the right honorable Mudashiru should reconsider his position. I'm telling you, reconsider his position. This is 10 good years
as speaker,
10 solid good years as speaker, and you are still there. So wait, the good posterity will judge you.
For you.
And you are still, yes, you are still relatively young. Any other place, you continue, but the way it's going, I cheer for the work for them.
Okay. Thank you very much. I mean, that was a lengthy conversation. I just had to allow you flow with it because you made mention of the fact that, I mean, a lot of things are currently on hold in the House of Assembly. One would always know that oversight functions are part of the key responsibilities of lawmakers. Check will be brought to the floor of the House, even as lawmakers, as some of the activities being conducted at the committee level are currently not going on. That means the commissioners, the committees, everybody are just having a field day. But let me ask you, the issue of unity in the House of Assembly to the growth and delivery of good governance in Lagos, because we know for one that there's always going to be that arm of government that you don't just make laws, you also make sure that stays. If the Lagos House of Assembly is not as peaceful as it used to be, how much would it affect governance in Lagos?
It will affect a lot if the center cannot hold. The reason is that, the experience we passed through. I know the opposition party right now will be happy with what is happening in Lagos State of Assembly. Don't forget that those honorable members, the president, or even the governor, when it comes to general election, you understand? So you don't toy with those guys. Those House of Assembly members are most of that interfere with this constituent. Whatever majority of them will believe in whatever he tells them, they will believe. Majority of them will believe and pass on at the general big party performance in Lagos again, coming 2027 election. If care is not taken, it's better now. They said that when the day is light than when it is dark. You cannot get that black gold because it's already. Darkness with the cover will cover its color. You understand? Yes. When you talk, okay, there are 40 members plus the governor. They are the people that were elected. There were people that were elected. 41. If you add anyway, the governor must go with the deputy. You understand? When you elect a governor, people of Lagos. So their rules out of Ricky are very important to Lagos. To Lagosians, and they have to pass through the House of Assembly. What happens? Don't tell me what happened. The committee is not sitting. So what happened? Will they continue to wait? Can't wait for nobody. So that is why you don't play with the role of assembly members in any state, even in Nigeria. No matter, even though we have some teething problems, but we don't play with it. Quarterly review with the commissioners, the executive will come based on the ministries and agencies and courts. Who will do that when the center is no longer holding in the House of Assembly? So I want to ask, let me use the opportunity to appeal to the House of Assembly, especially the leadership house, the head of the management. Let him consider his stand for the interest of Lagos, for the interest of Lagosians.
Before I also leave, I would have to stick a bite into this one. I know that you're a thoroughbred Lagos boy. I mean, you've held political posts in Lagos. You have a community of followers and admirers and supporters in Lagos. But election, Honorable Idumogo, is gradually hotting up. There's going to be a governorship election in Anambra State by September 2025. And then, we've seen the major political parties conducting their own election. The Labour Party, seems to, the ruling party also conducted their primaries, and then the sitting governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, was returned unopposed as the candidate of the party in the September election. However, you also need to look at 2027 as a strong for the Southeast to have a focal agreement when it comes to presenting candidates for general election. So this is what I mean. And this is not in any way putting some region above the other. It's just the context of this conversation for the people listening. If the Northerners want to, get a push for power, especially at the presidency, they will tell you that, a local mantra came up on the scene, and then, the progressive governors in 2023 went for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But, I mean, why is it difficult to be on that page?
Okay, sorry. Yes, this belongs to my people. The truth is that when you look at a typical labor man from our background where we were coming from, even before believing in ourselves, our community, our family, but when I say our kindred, where we are coming from. So it's difficult. There's also a saying in Igbo land, which I don't like. But the point that 𝐴ᴜᴜᴜ, it means that when I say 𝐴̀ᴜᴜᴜ, means that Igbo people don't have a king, no leader. That is what it is. It's a slang that always fits more, but they are saying it. And when it matters a lot, what you say, sometimes. So that word, sometimes, personally, I wish we do respect with the way we behave. We worship more about money. Let me say. Yes, you have money, you are a king. So that's why you can see okay, for example, even in Lagos, where you talk about the Obashi, when you have a leader as an Oba, everybody tries to go and take a kingship in my place. Whether you like it or not, I'll use my money, I'll have my way. So that is, so naturally, and that is what affects us politically. It affects us politically. And don't forget that majority of Igbos, Easterners, majority of them are businessmen, push them to that. Just when you come from the aspect of the Civil War, what they lost, and how they started like all over again and stuff like that. So and with that, we tend to respect money. Somebody have money more than an elderly person, which is not right. The presidency to the Southeast, I'm telling you, not be like that. Yes, it should not. Let's use the opportunity to appeal to my Igbo brothers. It doesn't work that way. We should also learn from the Northerners, from the Southwestern people, the Yorubas, and they are in the North. So we must have a people that died. He came with leadership, Nnamdi Azikiwe those days. But after the face of all those people, the new people now is like no, money. I think we should change our concept. The people in Yoruba land, another is respected. In Hausa land, another is respected. When another speak, you listen. Oh my God, that's a challenge that affects us politically. But one thing with the Igbos, when you come to, if they have somebody say they come out and participate to vote, you see them come out to vote. They like that to vote. But they choose a leader that can represent people, that can speak, and at least 80% of you will say, go ahead. Little changes and understanding now. Some of the Igbos are also discovered that without participating politically, they are nowhere. And if you don't have the power, no matter are given to them again, you can see the issue of today. Even P2B4, since you mentioned Southeast, you can see P2B again is also bringing out those people that I don't feel that our people also should also look at people like that and other people that look. It's high time we give respect to whom respect is due. Because if we don't do that, even when the Nigerian now, so the area we now know that, look, let us put our hearts together politically. Let's have a kind of leadership structure, whether as per elder, somebody have wisdom, somebody we trust that also tells the truth. It's not about money. Everything about it's not about money. So if I just feel by the time we'll make progress.
Said Oshodi Solo constituency 2 in the Lagos House of Assembly for 8 years, 2 term, and like I said at some point in the show, I remember I was around your voting area during the 2023 election. Maybe you provide quality enough leadership for the people of your constituency to absolutely trust you. So thank you so much. I had to pull you out from with us on the show today. Thank you. We'll keep in touch with you.
Thank you for the opportunity. God bless all of you. And God bless Nigeria and Lagosians.
Thank you very much. Well, interesting concept, House of Assembly. We've talked about the leadership change in NNPC Limited. We'd also talk about the Lagos State House of Assembly issue. And he said it pretty clear that the only way that sanity can return to the House of Assembly in Lagos if the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi-Obasa, resigns and just stay on the floor of the House and allow other people to be there. By the way, he's been the member since 2003 and he's been the Speaker for about 10 years. That means he was the Speaker during, he's still the Speaker for the second year of the second term of Governor Sanwo-Olu. So, well, let's keep our fingers crossed, but I'm sure the people of Lagos knows that for any development to happen in Lagos, the House of Assembly must be in.
Good evening. But I have issue with him as well. When he was member of Lagos State House of Assembly, he failed to carry some of his brother along. Because those ones were able to carry some of them along. You know, Igbo people, there's something about them. Yes, they have this instinct in them. But if somebody is there for them, that talk to them, that represent them, that easy to are doing. They believe Igbo that is it. Good evening.
Thank you very much and good evening to you. 09136000410. It is the Monday edition of the Situation Room.
Watch when Obasa was reappointed.
Or resworn.
Resworn is there, but I saw the look on the faces. But when it comes to Lagos politics, you know that after President Tinubu, I now have more respect for Obasa. Yeah, because of the big politician, he has a Agege in his pocket. I want to believe President Tinubu needs him, but then if there is a way that they can just compensate, you know, I cannot live in that kind of environment where people don't trust me or where people are not happy with my leadership. I resign. Well, if he so decides to remain there, I think the power that be in the federal, they still need him.
Be your colleagues, don't have your trust.
Me. They don't. I cannot live in that kind of. They can poison.
Thank you very much. Let me also squeeze in a couple of calls. A couple of messages are really okay. Let's call it spade a spade. The greed of our politicians and political office holders and the Speaker of Lagos House of Assembly want to continue to be in office after being the position of the Speaker. Wow. God bless Nigeria. As Tim Tokpe Notoye from Ijagemo community. Thank you very much. Igbo man feels he cannot bow to any other person, especially his fellow Igbos. I think if the presidency is narrowed, Egbeda. Thank you very much. Let me see. Okay, let me go on Facebook real quick. 3FM. So this one says, okay, I already took your message on Otoye Timitok. I already took it on direct message. Case Holy says, all the Agberos in Age election. I don't know until you tell me. Kesoli says, please ask him, who is the owner of Oando? Ask him why would NNPC Limited be selling crude oil to Dangote with dollar when the crude oil belongs to Nigeria? Ask him, was Obasa removed because of corruption? But I think Tinubu, there are some aspects I still want to disagree with him. The president appoints the Inspector General of Police and IG to take over the affairs of police. If he's going the way that the president is not pleased, he should be removed immediately and put someone there to do the work. What I saw today in different parts of the country concerning places, I disagree with your guest saying police always do the opposite of what they're asked to do. Let's call a spade a spade. Can I ask a question? Is it not the same police that we're having today that we had during the presidency of former President Goodluck Jonathan? When the president, Tinubu and others in 2015 protested at the Garden Fire Park in Ojota, was there around care? All I know is that they don't own our lives. Tinubu enjoyed the protest both physically and on social media wise, but today he hates us. God is truly the arbitrary. James Chukwuebume says, as far as when there was none, and now they try to do is to stifle the Nigerian people. You talk, you're in trouble. If you protest, you're in trouble. If you are the presidential candidate of African Action Congress, Omoyele, we'll do that tomorrow, God willing. Stick around for Sunset News on Mainland 98.3 FM, and by 6 o'clock, I would come back for Sports Crew 6 to 7 p.m. in the Situation Room, 4 to 5:30 p.m. Let's do this again tomorrow and get the rest of your weekend, and stick around to Mainland 98.